completed the 30th association with Akima.
Has been associated with Akima, which is world's largest chemical plant source since last 20 years. And
Hi, good afternoon. So to start with the second session of Day 2 of Student Outreach Program, we have a very esteemed panel comprising of Mr. B. Narayan, President Projects and Procurement at Reliance. So I would like to call you on stage. Then we have Mr. Murali, Managing Director of Croda India. Sir, please. Then we have Mr. Ajit Goswami from Burns and McDonald's. Sir, please, I would like you. And finally, we have Harsh Galamani. Sir, please, I would like to call you on stage. From Burns and McDonald's. So, Mr. Miraran, I would like to call you on stage. I want Raj to present the first and as well as students of the second session.
Good afternoon. Dear students, it is so encouraging and invigorating and refreshing to be among the young crowd like you. Now, sometimes I get the same kind of thrill when I visit my old college, alma mater, and they call me sometimes to go and talk. And when you are among them, you feel so happy and with a lot of energy and vigor and zeal. So I see the same kind of thing here. And as I was just coming into the hall, I saw them, some of them were rushing probably outside to grab a packet of lunch maybe. So I was asking Mr. Suri, what about these people? Where are they going? Are they bored of the talks before? No, they're going for the lunch. Don't worry, they'll come back. I hope that you're back into your energy zone, I hope. I don't hear anything. Are you? Are you back in your energy zone? Yes. That's good. Now, I understand and I'm informed that all of you come from different colleges and institutes spread all over the country, representing 25 plus states. So I'm just checking whether anybody is there from IIT or IIM. So Suri said no. So that means they belong to the same crowd as I am. Because I graduated from non-IIT college, first of all. Though later on, for my master's, I went to IIT. Just because I wanted to feel the IIT atmosphere, nothing else, no other purpose. Truly, believe me, what I've actually learned in my college, in my BE course, probably I remember more of that, and I remember more of that experience and that enjoyment that I had than probably what I experienced in those 2 years in IIT Chennai. Though no complaints about the place, because it is a protected area for deers. We have thousands of deers. You go all around the place. So whenever you get bored in the class, most of the time I used to get bored. in IIT. So I used to go out and be with the deers and animals. So what I was trying to impress upon you is those years that you spent in your undergraduate course, they are the best time. I understand that you people have 4-year course now, right? My days they were 5-year course. So I've got a little bit of advice because there is a little bit of difference between what we went through when we were in the college and what you people are going through or experiencing in your college days. One of the major differences is that in our days there was no internet, right? So there was no access to the information readily. So I'm just trying to ponder, how was I getting information? So we were in the college, either in the hostel, the common room, there used to be one copy of each of the 3 or 4 newspapers. So everybody used to grab to know a little bit about what was happening. And I don't recollect whether there was any TV. No, it was not there. Because I'm talking about I passed out in 1971, graduated in 1971. So you can count how many years after my college days, right? So you can also back calculate my age. Don't try, but so those days, even to get some information was difficult. Newspaper, I said, if you manage to grab a page here and there, or some magazines, or you have to go to the library. And in library, you used to have some newspaper copies. They used to get in magazine. They used to get. So we used to go and read in library. But today, you have a press of a button. You got all the information that all the information that's available in the world. But why I said this is, in spite of the fact that we did not have much access to the information, still we passed out of the college, right? So it doesn't make any difference because information is information, but that is not knowledge. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is nothing but essence of that information. Information is millions of tons of loads of information that you may have, but that is not what you are going to use in your life. But from that, you need to actually gather knowledge. And our days, our professors and lecturers used to actually impart knowledge, and we were mostly dependent on our parents and our close relatives, well-wishers, and the lecturers and professors for knowledge. So there's a difference between information and knowledge. And you should also pursue that. And these college days are wonderful years, and don't make full use of it. But from the knowledge, when you practice and put it into application and repeatedly you apply it, that is when you gain experience. So information is one thing, knowledge is another thing, and gaining experience is third thing. And when you are actually gaining experience, during the course of gaining experience, you will experience also the peaks, the ups and downs. And they are not the failures, they are actually the stepping stones to success. Treat like that. So, through the experience, the person actually, over a period of time, becomes an expert. And he becomes a specialist. Because you would have seen through the experience the ups and downs, and he has dealt with those downtimes, and he has also seen the successes, and so he knows the difference between the successes and failures, and he knows how to deal with the failures, and under various circumstances, and that is how the person, if he makes use of those failures, and considers them as stepping stones, he would be led to true success. That's one message that I want you to take. The second message is when you're in the college, there are three pieces of, I would say, advice that I would, or message that I would like to give you people, that never lose faith, love, and courage. These are very important virtues in a man or a woman, a person. Because in your life, as you go up, so you need these. And these are the virtues which will take you forward. And in any circumstances, anywhere, never give up. You have faith. Never take any negative or a failure to your heart so heavily. Be always positive. Try to get away from negative, because there would be setbacks, there would be small failures. Sometimes some people tend to take small failures, make it very big, and these are the people who get distressed, depressed, and sometimes it takes you to extreme steps. And so please, first advice is never lose faith and love, because when you have love, you love your partners, you love your friends, you love your relatives, you love your parents, and so that actually keeps you going. That creates relationship. So why I said relationship is important is I was just during the lunchtime I mentioned to the colleagues that we were having lunch, and who is the happiest person? There was a survey conducted in the US, and there was a series of elements of happiness that they had listed. What could be the ones? Like wealth, sports car, or fame, name, all kinds of property, this, that, all kinds of things. But what was the real reason for a person to be really happy? And the highest happiness quotient is responsible. The reason is the relationship. The person with the best and the most relationships is considered and is actually reported to be happy. Because this is a survey conducted among happy and unhappy people. So that's how they found out. And so that's why I said that love is the second element which is very important in your life, going from now onwards, right through your career and life. And so third, I said courage. Courage, when I said courage to stand up to the right, it doesn't come easy. So you need to have a true courage, not a pseudo courage. So when somebody stands up for righteousness, so that is true courage. And I don't have to elaborate with examples of courageous people. And when it comes to even example Bhagat Singh, he was a courageous person. He gave up his life for a good cause. He stood up for a good cause. So one other thing I want to actually give piece of advice here is that all of you have you have well-wishers like parents, brothers, chatas, mamas, or even neighbors and community people. Some people coming from villages, small places, and so there may be a family, nobody else who has gone to the college. So even the whole village is very keen that you have gone to the college and you are studying. And so all these people would have aspirations for your well-being, and they all look for your doing well in the college. Please do not let them down. Always bear in mind, there is someone who is having aspirations for your progress. So Never forget that element. When you come out of the college, it is not only gathering knowledge through your from your lecturers, professors, or even lab technicians, and in the workshop or wherever. So you gather knowledge, but that is not the only purpose of your going to college. College actually makes a person, and you develop character in you, and some of the good virtues you can actually develop at the college, because that's an opportunity you have. Because there is camaraderie, there is friendship, there is sharing, there is compassion, there is you need to develop tolerance, patience, all of that. Because if you look back your days in the college, when you're spending every day various circumstances, various situations, if you step back and start thinking, yesterday I was very compassionate towards X. I was very courteous to somebody. Or someone may feel, I shouldn't have said that. I put that person into a bad, in a mood. So these are some of the things which are very important. So at the end of the day, when you come out of the college, you need to come out as a good human being, apart from a good knowledge owner. You may get the ranks in the years of the college, but if you do not come out as a good human, it gets actually discounted, in your career. That great knowledge that you gain. But when the knowledge is supplemented by the humaneness, that will take you further in your career. So I want you to please be aware, and you need to be humble. All these the virtues I just mentioned are very important. Respect for others, respect for others' views, and courteousness, and patience, compassion, love, courage, etc. Because why I say this is all you people are very young, and you are the future leaders of this country. And you need to be a good leader at the end of the day. And a good leader's quality is when you are leading a group of people, because you are expected to be leading a set of people. Because when you come out of the college, some of you may be joining your own family business, or some of you may be a startup companies, your own business, may enter into corporate sector, take up a job in any company, small or big, wherever you go. Very soon you are a professional coming out of the college. Very soon you are expected to lead a group of people. And a good leader is one who, in his leadership quality, when he is climbing up the ladder, as a metaphor, the person who is coming up with you, up in the ladder, maybe he is one rung below, but good leader's quality is to pull him up. So the good leader will take the person in the ladder up and up. As you go up, take him up also. So as we say in our leadership program, what are the KPIs? Your key performance indicators, one of them is how many leaders do you produce as a leader? That's your KPI. So it's important that you need to be a good leader, and a good leader to lead good people, and also create leaders. With that said, I'm just giving you a little background about me, because you may be wondering, who is this character giving us advice? So I am, as you've already been introduced, I'm working in Reliance, and this is my 45th year in Reliance. And before that, I spent about 6 years working for a couple of other companies, and one of the other companies is Indian Petrochemicals Corporation. So I spent there, I think, 5 years or 6 years. And another company was Union Carbide, India. I spent 1 year. So Indian Petrochemicals Corporation is now part of Reliance. So my career, professional career, except for 1 year break with Union Carbide, I can consider all my life is in Reliance. So if I put those number of years that I spent in the beginning of my career as also part of future Reliance there. So I worked in the projects, in the project management, and also procurement. And I'm handling today the procurement of capital equipment and also the regular direct and indirect materials, MRO items, and services to serve the operating companies at 11 sites of Reliance around the country. And this procurement activities are related to O2C business, that is oil to chemicals. So there are similar procurement teams, procurement leadership is also there for our life sciences business, or retail business, or geocommunication business. But my area of operation is only O2C business. But the revenue-wise, probably that is the biggest contributor. And when I said that I worked, on the project and procurement function, but it was not that I had to do a fixed job. And when I joined, the group was very small, company was very small, and it has now grown to maybe 1,000 times of what when I joined, maybe bigger. Even bigger, and so we were expected to do a lot of functions which are not really truly engineering related. What I studied in college, probably it was not fully put to use in my first few years of my career. So it was very different, but what is important is I never actually felt bored. And you need to be, and this is an advice I'm giving you need to enjoy your work. And you need to learn enjoying your work. So this is important. So many people, I don't enjoy my work. No, you need to learn to enjoy your work. And I know today's millennials, the kids, they are, I keep hearing that also from my wife, with little granddaughter. They are very clear and focused what they want to do, and she says she wants to be a doctor, she wants to be a nurse. So we're sometimes scared when they say, I want to be a fire inspector. She goes to the shop and picks up a fire inspector's topi, and I want to be fire. So that's okay when you stop. But when you are grown up and become an adult, you are very focused. But that doesn't mean that you should stop enjoying doing work. Sometimes your assignment with the work may not be exactly meeting your requirement. But if you continue to learn to enjoy, and if you enjoy your work, you'll take it further and far higher. And with that advice, I wish you all the best. Your stay here, I'm sure you must be enjoying your stay here, and you must be listening to several of the leaders from the industry. And whatever little message you have gathered from these talks, pick up the youngsters are really good filters, and you are able to actually sift through and pick up the essence of what we talk and what messages we give. Maybe sometimes you may feel, that's not relevant to me because I'm beyond all this. So sometimes you say, yeah, it makes sense. So suggest that you pick up the essence of the leadership talks, and hopefully they will be useful for you in the career going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Meena, sir, for your address. For the next address, I would like to call Mr. Murali, MD, Croda India. Will be round of applause, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's always very nice when you're speaking with young people because you feed off the energy and the vibe, and I can feel it as well. Look, when you see young people on the cusp of their careers, what you get is hope, right? When a baby is born in a household, everybody's very happy. Obviously, babies are cute, but really, what you see is hope of a better future, hope of what that child can be. And that's what I see here. So, I think Mr. Narayan spoke of, shared a lot of his wisdom. What I will do is then pick a couple of points from there and try and share some of my own experiences and build on that, right? So, the 3 or 4 things that I would like to touch upon. Number 1 is why, what an exciting industry this is to be in, the chemical industry. Yeah, number 1. Number 2 is Mr. Narayan spoke about loving what you do, right? But how do you do that? So maybe share an experience of mine and how it helped me in my journey. The third bit is around learning, and he spoke of knowledge, continuous learning, and how it applies to work every day. And the last bit, a little bit about mentorship and leadership. So it should take too long, a few minutes. So let me first kick off with who I am. I work as the managing director of a company called Croda. So Croda is a company that's headquartered in the UK. It's a FTSE 100 company. FTSE is the London Stock Exchange index, like the Sensex, or the FT have here in India. We are a specialty chemicals company. We sell into sectors like industries like the pharmaceutical, personal care, crop care industries. And we're very focused on solving problems. Right? So understand your customer and solve problems using science. So our tagline is smart science to improve lives. So first and foremost, why do I think it's an exciting industry to be in? Because the chemical industry is fundamentally about solving problems, right? To solve real life problems for the world around you. That's number 1. Number 2, you step back and look at where India is today. And sometimes I think I should be starting my career today. It's just so exciting, isn't it? India is now a $3.7 trillion economy, and in 10 years' time, it's likely to be a $10 trillion economy. I mean, it's incredible. So I was hearing somebody say earlier that when per capita income crosses the $3,000 mark, right? So per capita translated into dollars, then the chemical industry takes off. The per capita income in India today is about $2,600, $2,700. So we cross $3,000 very soon. So you see there's an inflection point that's awaiting the industry in terms of consumption in the population and all that. And again, you see a whole host of opportunities that will come within the industry. So while one is at the cusp of one's career thinking, should I get into IT, should I do something else? Actually, this is a fabulous industry to be in. There's so much to do. And there's so many different things you can do and learn as you go through your career. And I'll touch upon that as well later in continuous learning. So first and foremost, great industry to be in. Lots of exciting things coming your way. And we know this. The chemical industry is involved in every aspect of our lives. Right? And the industry itself is undergoing a metamorphosis from chemistry to biochemistry to biotech. So things are changing, and so it's just really very, very exciting as far as I'm concerned, and I hope you get a sense of that as well. So number 1, it's a great industry to be in. Don't worry, this is where we should be, if you ask me. Number 2, the point about loving what you do. First and foremost, I think share an example. When I was a student, so my own journey, I'm not a chemical engineer nor am I a chemist. So what am I doing here in a chemical company? It's quite interesting, but I knew that I was always interested in something with science. So So I studied to be a production engineer, followed that up with an MBA. Go to an MBA class, if you're one of the best schools, everybody wants to join Hindustan Unilever or Procter & Gamble and sell shampoo and soap. Nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But I was very clear that I wanted to actually sell science, right? So some of my batchmates who did very well in their chosen fields went that way. In fact, the funny thing is, very few of us got into the chemical industry after an MBA. But I've never regretted it, because I've always had fun. Now, coming back to trying to figure out what might we do that, right? You know what you want to do, but then what is it that you would like? You might want to experiment a bit. So when I was a student, somebody told me, look, you want to do a summer job in selling? Right? There's a summer job in selling. Okay, let's give it a shot. So I actually sold air conditioners and water coolers for a company called Blue Star for 3 months during the summer break. Paid $1,000 a month in those days. It was a tough job. You were assigned an area, you went to the BST bus, you got off, you walked on the road, you tried to make a sale. I was also asked to collect information about customers. Right? I didn't know it was called market research. Second agent, nobody told me it was market research. You ask a few questions, you fill a few forms. Then you start to look at it and try to make sense of it. Right? At the end of the 3 months, there were about 25 of us. I was the youngest. They said, we're going to give somebody an award. Okay? I'm not expecting anything. I said, okay, we'll give you your reward. We've done the best. This is what we're thinking. All right, so this is something I enjoy. Maybe this is something I'm good at. Right? So probably selling is something I enjoy. So then I tried 1 or 2 other things as well. And then not as fun, nor was I as good at it. So okay, so fine, this is something that you might do. So that's an example. And then I actually got into sales as I started my career. Have always enjoyed it. Even today when I'm in front of a customer, it's the best thing I can do. Unfortunately, my role keeps me away from the customer, doing a whole host of other things. It's the most exciting thing is to sit in front of a customer, hear their problems and solve their problems. So the first thing is try and find what you like. If it comes to you naturally, great. If you have to find your way to it, do a little bit of experimentation, find out, talk to a few people, try 1 or 2 small gigs and see if it works. So that's the first thing. The second thing is about learning and continuous learning. So in our company, we have a process where you estimate future goals. Right? So you look at what roles will come in the next 3 to 5 years. Why is this important? So what's happening is existing roles are becoming redundant and new roles are emerging. So earlier this morning, a colleague of mine was speaking in one of their sessions, and he's our Chief Sustainability Officer. He's extremely knowledgeable of the topic. My colleague Phil Master is not here. Phil was like me a salesman. Okay, he rose to be a very good salesman and a very senior business leader. But then he discovered sustainability and decided that his calling was that. So he moved from becoming a sales leader to becoming a Chief Sustainability Officer for the company. And he's still focused on solving problems. That's what he likes to do, right? In a different way. And what we are finding is, in the last 3 or 4 years, 80% of the roles that we are filling in the company are brand new roles, right? So these are new roles that have been created in the company. So what does that mean? That means the roles and jobs are constantly evolving. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in a corporate career working with a company, you start your own business, or you have a family. Everything is undergoing change, in a world of change. So the important thing is to keep learning. The point that Sunarad made about college, keep learning all the time. Be absolutely hungry for learning. And not just in data, but how can you apply it at work? So the next thing is skills. Right? So let me explain skills. Skills can be learned, thank goodness. Right? Otherwise, I don't know what any of us would have done. Because a lot is spoken about talent. Right? Talent. So I'll give you an interesting story. We all love cricket. So when I was a student, during the summer break when I was studying, doing my MBA in Delhi, in those days getting a passport was so straightforward, unlike now. So you had to apply to the regional passport office. You had to go there in person, wait for the officer to call you. So I was waiting there. Next to me was another young man, so I got talking with him. He looked very athletic, got talking. He turned out to be a cricketer, a professional cricketer. Okay. So So I said, why do you need a passport? I thought, he said, I'm going to play county cricket, so I need my passport urgently. I have to go join this team, whatever it was. So I just asked him, do you know Sachin Tendulkar? He said, of course I know Sachin. I said, tell me something about Sachin. So what he told me has remained with me for my life. He said, Sachin Tendulkar would walk in. So he said, Sachin Tendulkar is this powerhouse of talent, isn't it? Yeah? Very talented cricketer. He said, Sachin would walk into the ground before anybody else and leave the ground after him. When he had been dragged, but he would leave his batting pitch only when he couldn't see the ball. And the coach would drag him away saying, you hurt yourself. So what does that mean? He's putting more work than anybody else. He's honed his craft. Right? So you constantly work at your craft, you constantly improve, you constantly learn. So these are skills, and you can keep improving them. The more you do it, the better you get. Now, skills in the context of work, job, or a role. So let's say you're a doctor. So I break this down into three things. One is knowledge, the base, the main knowledge. The second thing is skills, and third is attributes. It's about behaviors. Right? So now, if you're a doctor, you have to study MBBS. So, I can't become a doctor tomorrow, however nice I was. So you've got to have the base knowledge. But the next bit, even for a doctor, is to be able to relate to people well. That's a skill, right? You need people skills. So, right? And the third bit is you've got to be patient with certain individuals. So, the doctor for little children, yeah, a 3-year-old kid. You see, the doctor will always have a few toys and crack a few jokes and be smiling. So, those are behavioral aspects of the world. So, similarly, when you think of it, every role can be broken down simply. And we use this at work. Your base knowledge, your skills, and your behaviors. And luckily, your base knowledge is what you're working at today. When you're studying for a degree, whatever. And the skills and the behaviors can be learned and revived. So it's important to keep building your skills to be able to get the sort of career you want. It's not just base knowledge. You can't be a salesman. You join, by the way, the chemical industry offers you a wide variety of roles. But if you want to do sales, like I enjoyed doing sales, you got to have decent communication. You should enjoy talking to people. You should be inquisitive of what people want. You should be humble, because sometimes you'll have an angry customer who will give it to you, right? Which is accepted, yeah? Because, yeah, you, as an organization, you mess up. So that's the bit. So that's the second bit about learning, skills, attributes. And the third bit I wanted to talk about was mentorship, leadership. If you can find somebody who can guide you, somebody who can be a mentor, either in your circle or through professional connections, please use the opportunity. And the need of a mentor will keep growing as you go through your careers. But it's always good to have somebody, a wise counsel, somebody who's been there, done that, and give you a different perspective. And it's always useful to have that. Any moment of doubt, you can always go back to them. In our organizations, those who join us, we organize it. And it's not just us, many companies do it. You organize a mentor within the company. But I would say, even as a student, if you can find a mentor, maybe a senior who's working, maybe an uncle, somebody in the family, somebody's uncle's friend who's working somewhere, go and talk to them. Yeah? Learn from them, hear them out. And usually people are very happy to share their experience and help you out. So that's what I thought I will share with you this afternoon. Thank you. I hope that was useful.
Thank you, sir. To present our second last address, I would call upon the stage Mr. Ajit Goswami from Burns and McDonald's. Please, sir.
So good afternoon, everyone. So since morning, you people might have heard a lot about leadership, right? So you are to hear more about leadership, or since you are pursuing engineering, you want to know where the jobs are. Can you people raise hands who wants to hear about the jobs, where the jobs are? Who all wants to hear about leadership? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about leadership. leadership, I am basically going to talk about where the jobs are, right? And since morning, maybe every speaker has used the word energy, right? They spoke about inner energy, right? Different forms of energy, but I am talking about energy as a sector, right? Today in India, the energy sector is seeing exponential growth, right? When it comes to investment, when it comes to innovation, right? So a lot of opportunities are going to be there for young engineers, right? And today I am going to do little different than what other speakers have done, right? So I head the project management group in Barnes and Mackler in India, and as project managers, we love following processes, right? So I will follow a process of some slides, okay? So let's start. So what's in the energy sector? Well, I want the program to be a little more interactive. So anybody who knows what is in the energy sector? Anybody wants to? Okay. So when I say energy, first one starts with exploration and production, right? So we produce crude oil and natural gas in our production facilities, and it goes to refineries. Refineries will produce petroleum products, petrochemical feedstocks, right? And between exploration, production, refinery, exploration is called upstream, right? Refinery is downstream, and the midstream sector, which is the pipelines, the terminals, the depots, right? Those are part of your midstream. So your upstream, midstream, and downstream within the oil and gas. And when I'm going to talk about energy, I'm talking about oil and gas as well as power. So next three is about power sector, right? So within power, we have generation, and then we have transmission and distribution. So a lot of investments are going to happen within the energy sector, and I'm going to talk about specific data, right? So that you get more confidence that definitely this sector is booming. A lot of opportunities are going to get created for engineers, and all these investments are going to be anchored for sustainability and digital transformation. So today companies who are building these refineries, who are investing in power, right, they have two challenges. One is that you have to create a reliable source of energy while contributing to a cleaner and greener economy, right? And organizers have told us that we should not talk much about the company, but I'm going to share a few exciting projects that we as Barnes and Mackler have delivered or currently executing to reflect our commitment towards sustainability. We are doing projects creating green diesel. We are doing projects where we are converting alcohol to sustainable aviation fuel. We are working on energy storage projects. So a lot of excitement around this energy space because of the investments and the commitment towards sustainability and innovations. Next, look at some of the numbers, right? Because we all are engineers, we love looking at numbers, right? So what are the forces that is going to drive the investment in energy space? So first one is we are the fastest growing economy. Second, we aspire to be 7 trillion economy by 2030. And when the economy has to grow, the energy consumption and demand is going to increase. When there is a demand, the investments are going to happen. When the investments are going to happen, we need human resource pool, right? Next, last year in October, the world population became 8 billion, right? And by 2050, the world population is expected to be 9.5 billion. We are growing about 0.85%, right, every year. So we have to cater to energy for 1.5 billion population who are going to get added, right, to the planet Earth. And still, in the poor countries, we have 200 million population who do not have access to energy. So energy demand is continuing to increase. Next one, you might have heard about net zero commitments, net zero. So anybody wants to kind of share what is net zero? Anyone wants to try? Okay. So net zero is basically compensating for the greenhouse gases that are flowing into the atmosphere, right? And the greenhouse gas accumulation is creating global warming, right? So we need to control the greenhouse gas emissions. So as per Paris Agreement, right, all countries they have committed to net zero by 2050. But our Prime Minister, because India is still a developing country, and we want our people to get uplifted, so we have committed net zero as 2070. Right? So when it comes to investment in energy, one is the investments are happening because of the demand in energy, and second, we have to commit to our net zero. So we'll talk a little bit more as how the net zero commitments will get made. Next one, our refining capacity is expected to touch about 450 million metric ton. Currently, our refining capacity is about 260 million metric ton. 450 MMTPA seems to be a little aggressive number, right? But we'll stay with this number, assuming that investments are going to happen significantly in the refining sector to meet the demand of 450 million metric ton by 2030. Next one, power demand, right? Currently, our connected load in terms of the power is about 416 gigawatt. And do not get caught up in the number. If you Google some website, they say 420, some they say 450. But it is around 416 gigawatt is the connected load. And to cater to the economic growth, the connected load is expected to be about 820 gigawatt. So it is almost going to be doubled by 2030. Next one, first week of February, we had India Energy Week in Goa, and our Prime Minister announced that we are going to invest about $67 billion, right, to improve the energy mix. Now, what is this energy mix? Right, we produce power, 416 gigawatt is the connected load. So we have different sources of producing power. Today, coal contributes to more than 50%, right, in terms of producing power. Then we have solar, then we have nuclear, then we have hydro, right? We have to change the composition. We want the coal dependency to come down to less than 50%, and solar renewable dependency, we want to make it more than 50%, right? So that's what is to improve the energy mix, because once we reduce the dependency on the coal, right, our commitment to net zero will be closer, right? Last one, very exciting one, it's not related exactly to energy demand, but digital transformations, right? Or technology adoption. Because as I mentioned, that we have to produce reliable source of energy, but we must not forget that we have a commitment for net zero by 2050, right? And in India, net zero is 27. So we have to look for more innovation, right, in terms of becoming more efficient in terms of the generation, more efficient in terms of operation, more efficient in terms of energy storage. So those kind of technologies are still evolving, and it will be few decades before these technologies become more mature. So there's a lot of investments are going to happen in the digital transformation and the technology adoption. So with this number, I think we get some solace and comfort that a lot of investments are happening and going to happen over next few decades in the energy space. And as I said, this is going to create a lot of opportunities for engineers. Next. So when you are in the third year or the fourth year, what question always comes to your mind that bothers you? But when you study engineering from day one, that was our question, where I get a job? Once a company. Correct. So do you get the same question? So now you get a job, right? You got a job in campus, right? Or outside of campus. Now, how to survive? How to survive in organization is also very important. You get a job, right? So I'm going to take you through some of these things which are called survival skills. But if you want to survive in an organization, survive, sustain, and then you can climb up the ladder, right? So I'm calling them survival skills. Some may call it critical skills. Some may call it power skills. Okay. And next, when I take you through those 9 skills, right, I want at least one of you to answer. So I'm going to ask what the skill is, what is meant by you, right? Because many of you are in the final year, right? So you must be aware of those skills, correct? You may not have in-depth knowledge, but at the surface you must know what is the difference, right? So can I start? And I want at least one engineer, but aspiring engineer to raise hand and just tell me what is that skill. Anything, right? It will be wrong, but let's give it a try, right? Because after lunch only I am seeing many people on WhatsApp on the last 5 lines, right? So let's start with. So this one we talk last, interesting technology, that's very important. But let's start with communication. So communication is one of the survival skills. Without good communication skills, it's absolutely difficult for you to survive in an organization. Right? So why communication skill is so important? Yeah. suppose you got a job and you get one good increment, so you need to how to communicate with your supervisor, right? So communication is very important, it's a survival skill. Next, try curiosity. How many believes curiosity is a skill? Yes, you want to try this? Yes. So can you develop curiosity skill?
Yes, sir, because it's very difficult for a new person to, ask their seniors and, be open or be active in a working environment. A lot of people are quite shy in that case.
So you can definitely develop curiosity skill. I would suggest read widely. Not necessarily you have to read stack of materials, mechanics of material, interest or thermodynamic. You read newspaper, you may read a Marathi newspaper, Hindi newspaper, anything, but every day keep aside some time for reading. Next one is creative thinking, and both are closely related, curiosity and creative thinking. As I was saying, there are a lot of disruption and transformation happening in every industry, right? Because of the fast changing and ever evolving technologies, right? So if we want to stay ahead of our competitors, we have to improve efficiency of our operations, right? So only creative mind and people who are curious, they can come up with innovative ideas, right? So we encourage our people to develop this curiosity skill. We have those creative thinking skill, right? Because that's how we get those ideas. And in our organization, we encourage every employees, right, to come up with their ideas. Today in our Mumbai office, we have about 1900 employees. Right, 1900 ideas may be there, but some people they may be working at the lower tier in the organization, so they may not feel comfortable kind of sharing those ideas, how people absorb it. So we have developed an online app which is hosted in our intranet, and we encourage every employee to throw their ideas, right? And we as a leadership team, we scan through those ideas, and whatever we believe is going to add value to the business, we start implementing those. Right? So next I will go to collaboration. This again I will say is a survival skill. So anybody wants to try what is collaboration, why it is so important?
Hello. So everyone cannot be good in all things. So if one person is good in technology and other one in sales, so both can come up with a product and put their ideas, which can be helpful.
Okay. Yes, so we have to complement each other, right? So collaboration, why I'm saying is a survival skill, because collaborating is working with others, right? So when in an organization, you cannot work alone, right? You have to work with others. So 28 years back when I started my career, for us the team was 5 people in the department, right? Few people outside the department. But today we are working with people from different parts of the world, right? Different culture, different food habits, different egos, right? Different political affiliation. So developing collaborative skills is very, very important so that you can be successful when working in an organization or working in a team environment. Next one is emotional intelligence. Anyone wants to try from this side? Most answers will come from this side. Anybody wants to try from this side? What is emotional intelligence? Okay, so what is emotional intelligence when you kind of work in an organization? Otherwise, in your personal life, right, you get exposed to different challenging situations, stressful situations, I say. Correct. So how you conduct yourself in those stressful situations, right? How you negotiate, right, with the individual, how you manage conflict, right? So that's emotional intelligence. You have to be self-aware. Right? So that's again a very important skill. for leader manager positions in any organization. Next one is resilience. Anybody wants to try from center? Okay.
Yeah, resilience would be the ability to be positive in the event of failure, or if there is some sort of negative event that has happened to you within the company or during your time at work. You have to remain positive, understand that there will be good times and there will be bad times, and we need to stay consistent with what we are doing in our work.
Yes. So, in your personal and professional life, you always come across some very difficult situations. It happens to everyone, right? So, rather than procrastinating too much on what happened, right? How we bounce back, develop ourselves, reflect on the learning. That is about being resilient, right? And how can you kind of become resilient? Right? Because all of us will get exposed to those difficult situations. Right? There are people who lost job, right, in the downturn, but we have to bounce back. Right? So I suggest, and Mr. Murali also touched upon this point, that you all must have a mentor, right? And you always must have 3-4 very close friends. Because today, whenever I am in a stressful situation, either I call my mentor or I call my friends. Because there are certain things which you cannot discuss with your colleagues, cannot be with your family. So my suggestion is please have a mentor, right? And maintain some good friends, right? Practice some stress relieving exercises, right? Pranayam, yoga, right? Because in difficult situations, that's what is going to help you. Next one is problem solving. I think it is very easy to understand. I need not elaborate because we are slightly running behind schedule. Time management. What is time management and why it is so important? Anyone who wants to try? Okay. So, when I started my career, we thought that time management is only about managing time for our work, right? But today, time management is not only about managing your work. We are talking about work-life balance. Correct? Work means you have to work and also enjoy life. And you may want to practice a hobby, you may want to go to gym, you may want to spend time with your families. So time management is not about managing your work, it is about managing everything that is happening around your life, right? So you must know how to plan, how to prioritize, right? So we will not go much into that, right? But I will say how to kind of work on those skills when you talk about interest in technology. Last one is agility, right? As I said, when you work in an organization, the organizations are constantly evolving because of the transformation, because of the disruptions, because of the innovations, right? So every day there are some changes happening in the organization and you cannot remain rigid. You have to be flexible and you have to adapt yourself to the emerging needs of the business, right? So that's very important. With that, I spoke about those 9 critical survival power skills, right? And in the past, all these skills were coming under soft skills. Right? All of you have heard soft skills, right? But over years, people realize the soft skills are not soft skills because they are not easy to acquire. That is why all these power skills, critical skills, survival skills, because soft skills are most difficult, right? So last one, in the interest in technology, that you can acquire or get more insight to all of these skills if you have interest in technology, right? You go to ChatGPT, right? If you know the right prompt to use, you can know how you can improve your resilience, what is agility, right? How you can improve your emotional intelligence. You have to adopt technology because technology will help you on all of the aspects, problem solving, being more efficient, work-life balance. In our organization, we have flexi timing. Suppose you have a meeting at 7 o'clock. We do a lot of projects, all our projects for US. So we have many meetings with our US folks, right? And you have a meeting at 6 o'clock. In the past, the person sit up to 6 o'clock, attend a meeting, leave from office at 7 o'clock. And those who stay in Mumbai knows Mumbai traffic from 6 to 9, right? So he reaches Mumbai at 10 o'clock. So now we have adopted flexi timing. If you are meeting at 6 o'clock, you leave at 3:30, 4 o'clock, you attend the meeting from home, right? So this is all because of technology. Right? Because we have Microsoft Teams, we have different other technologies that you can use sitting at home. Right? So that's all from my side. I hope the information that I shared would help you to kind of better prepare for your career opportunities. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Ajit sir. And for the last session of the day, I would like to call upon Harsh from Buns and McDonald's. A big round of applause.
How's the Josh? Still high? Couldn't hear from the back. Again, how's the Josh? No, I'll start on a different note. I'll start by saying a thank you. Thank you for being a nice audience. Thank you to the team, my firm's team sitting here, to giving me this opportunity to speak. I might be one of the youngest ones speaking here today. I'll go on the slide and I think I still have a slide to was controlling technology, right? It's difficult to deal with technology. So it's very but to start off, Harsh Gyamlani, my current role is I'm a manager in program management at my current firm, and I didn't want to bore you with a lot of stuff, only one slide, just wanted to go through my journey, my learnings, and I think it's always difficult to go last when you have such wonderful speakers here telling you all these skills that you need, right? I'll start off with one story which I think has helped me progress in life is, and maybe I'll use a bit of Hindi here. So there was a great young VP, general manager out there, right? Pretty young, in early 30s, early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, and he used to be out there, board of directors, meeting everyone, and some लोग उसको पूछते थे, like, how did you reach here? How did you reach here? What got you there? So one of these days, he was able to answer this, and he kept it very simple. That he comes from a defense background, a military background, and when he went to his first military interview, right, desperate for a job, he went there pretty early and couldn't find anyone else, but he did find one person there, and उससे पूछ लिया, like he was a pretty senior person, and उससे पूछ लिया कि भाई what do I do to get a job here, to get a job in such a prestigious institute, right? So that person, that senior person, told him that being in such a stressful environment, लोग ज़्यादा सुनते नहीं हैं, right? They encourage short words, short memories. So he told, anything in life, there's only 4 answers. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't know, and no excuses. Right? There's only 4 answers to everything out there. And and then again, relating to my personal story, so I went to the Navy selection, SSB board. Doesn't even know what SSB interviews are. If you don't know, Google it up later on. Pretty much the toughest interviews out there. And there's multiple rounds, physical rounds, mental rounds, personal interview. So due to the schedule, what happened, like it was a rainy season, I was in my white shorts, white t-shirt, just after the physical round, and when I was walking into the interview room, a car came by and splashed pretty much dirt all over me. Now I was stressed, pretty important interview. Teacher said, how do I go? But I couldn't go back, I would have missed the interview. So I went in, and the first question that the persons standing asked me, like, do you think this is the right attire to be for an interview or for an officer's interview? And I only knew, again, from that story, 4 answers. Yes sir, तो बोल नहीं पाता था. Again, no sir भी बोल नहीं पाता था. I don't know, तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं बोल पाता था. So the only answer left, and the only answer that drives my mentality today is no excuses, sir. Once you develop that mentality, I think it will take you to places much beyond, much earlier in your life. Again, as my slides said, and then you can back calculate my age, I don't mind. But yeah, 2017, passed out from Tier 3 college, Tier 3, Tier 4 college in mechanical engineering. Right now what I'm doing is totally different. I work in electrical engineering projects, T&D space, much more different than what my engineering was, right? And I'll touch upon some of the points that the fellow gentleman mentioned. It's all right to lose your path. It's all right to take time to find your path, right? I did work for 1.5 years in an Indian company, felt something was missing. So I came to Bombay, did my master's in project management from BJDI. I hope you've heard the name of the college. Started working in Burns and McDonnell 2019. Started as an intern, one of the first interns from my batch, one of the first interns in the department that I was working for. And it's always been learn and execute. And that no excuses mentality that has taken me forward. And starting this year, I was promoted to a managerial position. And I think it's been a great journey. I think Ajit very nicely mentioned the power skills, the survival skills. And along with it, I would just say 4 tips or 4, I won't bore you guys, but 4 tips. Be great at sales and storytelling. Number 1 thing that you do starting today is go to YouTube, take a few lessons on storytelling, and it will make you progress 10x in your career. Number 2, be a problem solver. Like any company out there will only want to hire problem solvers. Problem solve, take initiative, and be that competitive person, be the hardest working person in the room, and definitely will reward you someday or later, right? And I think one of the things that Ajit mentioned, read a lot, take time out, take an hour out of your day, read anything, everything other than your technical stuff. I think, those are a few points that have helped me grow in my career, and pretty much I think will help you as well. So thank you again for being a great audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your session, the last lecture for the day. So to close off, I would like to ask Mr. Y.P. Suri, sir, to present a memento to Mr. B. Narayan.
Great session, starting with a person with 45 years of experience, ending with a person whose age is not even 45 years. So what a fantastic spectrum you had to learn from the real life experiences. Congratulations.
Now, I would like to ask Mrunmayee Hegiste, convener, to present the memento to Mr. Murli, MD Croda. Viraj Benadikar to present a memento to Mr. Ajit Bose. Now I would like to ask the student outreach program team to come on stage to present a moment to Mr. Harsh. So to announce a few things, those students those who have bus services to their dorms, kindly wait outside, while the rest can leave in staggered rows. So don't leave at once; it will heavily crowd the entrance. Also for tomorrow, we will be starting with breakfast at 9. Also, yes, we have a delegate kits, mementos for you at exit. So don't forget to collect your tote bags, which are at the exit. So just leave a couple of rows at a time from the rightmost. Leave row by row. Please don't leave at once. It will just create a ruckus at the end.